Why does our nose run when we cry? Today, we're going to explore a question that many of us encounter but don't often think about. Why does our nose run when we cry? It might seem like just another annoying bodily reaction, but as with many things in the human body, there's actually a fascinating biological explanation behind it. To understand this, we need to dive into how our bodies process emotions and respond physically to them. Crying is a deeply human experience. It's something we all do, whether we're feeling joy, sorrow, frustration, or even relief. It's more than just water coming out of our eyes. Crying is a complex physiological and emotional response orchestrated by the brain, and it involves several systems in the body working together. When we cry, our autonomic nervous system, which manages involuntary bodily functions like heartbeat, digestion, and respiration, kicks into action. Our brain, particularly the limbic system, processes the emotion and sends signals to the lacrimal glands, which are located just above each eyeball. These glands begin to produce tears, and depending on the intensity of our emotions, those tears can come on slow and steady, or in floods. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most people assume tears just roll down our cheeks and that's it. But actually, a significant portion of the tears we produce drain through tiny ducts in the inner corners of our eyes, called the puncta, and into the nasal cavity. Yes, our eyes and nose are directly connected through a small channel known as the nasolacrimal duct. This duct allows excess tears to flow into the nose. That's why, when we cry, we often find ourselves sniffling or wiping our nose. The tears that don't spill over onto our cheeks take a detour down into the nasal passage, and once they get there, they mix with the mucus that's already present. Now, you might be wondering, why does this lead to more mucus? That's because our nose senses that there's extra fluid, and it tries to maintain balance. To do that, the mucous membranes in the nasal cavity start producing even more mucus to help flush out what it sees as excess moisture. This results in that classic runny nose we all associate with a good cry. Let's take a closer look at the anatomy of the nose to understand this further. Inside our nose, we have a complex system of sinuses, blood vessels, and mucous tissues. The sinuses, which are air-filled cavities, are lined with mucosa. This is the tissue that produces mucus. It's normally responsible for trapping dust, microbes, and other particles, helping to keep our airways clean. But when tears start pouring in, the system gets overwhelmed. The sinuses try to deal with the sudden increase in moisture by ramping up mucus production and sending it all downward, hence the dripping nose. And crying doesn't just affect the nose. You may have noticed that after or during a crying episode, your face gets red, your muscles feel tight, and your eyes may sting or burn. All of these are part of the body's stress response. Blood vessels dilate, leading to facial redness. Muscle tension increases due to the emotional strain, and the salt in your tears can irritate the sensitive tissues around your eyes, causing that familiar burning sensation. So the runny nose, while inconvenient, is just one of several physical signs that your body is actively responding to an emotional state. It's actually part of a broader process that's helping your body regulate, process, and recover from a strong emotional experience. Now, let's take a step back and think about the broader picture. Isn't it amazing how the body has such intricate systems for managing emotions? Crying may seem like a sign of weakness to some, but it's actually a built-in biological tool, one that helps us release stress, communicate distress or empathy, and even bond with others. So the next time you find yourself crying, whether from laughter, sadness, or even a heartwarming moment, know that your body is simply doing what it was designed to do. And that runny nose? It's just a small part of a larger, beautifully orchestrated response that makes you human. Understanding these processes helps us not only appreciate how our bodies work, but also reminds us that crying is okay. In fact, it's healthy. It's a signal that you're processing something important. So grab a tissue, take a deep breath, and know that every sniffle and tear is part of nature's way of helping you heal.